Wow. OMG. Wow. OMG. I honor y'all for watching out there. I created like a little mini duet in my shorts. I just uploaded it here on YouTube, okay, of another content creator on TikTok. And so, listen, what I want to say is, do you feel like you're being provoked to anger? And if you're someone that has been illegally put on a community watch list, the answer to that is you absolutely are starting to find out more and more about it all, the science, be it what it does to your energy and your frequency and vibration. So the video that I just uploaded was a gentleman, and you all can see who he is. He was what you do free fusion centers, and the folks that are involved in this, community harassment stuff. Why would they want to do that to the target? Okay, so it answers the question. It's more than just about. It's more than about making the target look bad. It's more than just about um, trying to set them up, affect them. It's to affect your vibration, which ends up affecting you from what? Changing your brain, changing your personality on the long haul. And the powers that be know the science behind it. The minions that they hire do not. So this is why when you see something on a massive scale, they know that information. And in fact, they could really care less in most cases, especially if they don't like you anyway. Okay? They could care less about that. And others, they're believing the lie and illusion that they'll, some people into believing that they're doing something great for the faith. Truth, like this gentleman that I eternal 3-year-old. I love giving people this example. When you, as the older, let's say that they're 5 and let's say you're 7. And when you say, leave me alone, Suzanne, leave me alone, John, leave me alone, Mom. And then it's 2 centimeters from touching you. But it's annoying. Everywhere you move, they got their finger literally right here. You're like, go away. What are you doing? So all of this driving around, making it obvious, revving up their engines, making it obvious, operating in ways that look normal to the doing the spell work, knowing that most of the world don't believe in it, knowing that most of the world is ignorant and think that they're, happening to you are to do with spell work. So that's why they go to town on your kid. That's why they drive around doing their weird mudras and mantras and privy to. So they are seeing sense, even though they just don't have the intelligence, the knowledge, or the depth to know what's going on. Okay? Don't mean that disrespectfully, but that's just the name. I am going to try this. It's easier said than done, because again, when you have this, you got, kind of psychopathic energy constantly doing things, and you're angered under normal circumstances, angered. You might have been someone who practiced certain things, and because you were someone who practices certain things when angered, this is another by the terrorists themselves. Because a highway or some rude somebody at the grocery store, or somebody who say something, but it is not normal stuff to be under illegal surveil. It is not normal stuff to be hunted down by cults and weird groups, and to have people that are being coerced, coaxed, tricked, spell casted, purchased, whatever the case may be. Something like that concentrated. I still believe it's worth us using. Just like everything else, it's just another tool in the toolkit, because we're dealing with it massive. We deal with regular life occurrence, and then we deal with regular life seasons, and then we deal with the fact that we are on some kind of watch list illegally, some kind of community organized watch list, and whether the people who have signed up for it or not, they signed up for a federally crooked, illegal cult practice in your family to affect your brain, to affect your frequency, to affect your vibration, because nobody else knows that they're provoking you. Nobody knows. Nobody else knows. Nobody else knows. Nobody else knows that they're driving around intentionally with the little big little penis syndrome and shallow pussy syndrome and the God complex. I just saw my butterfly there. There it is. Nobody else knows that that's what the little weak to make you look paranoid. It's designed to make you. Okay. So we're going to practice this. We're going to intend, and it's a very easy exercise. I practiced just a few minutes ago, because that's what this is. Us seen as what's of them, angry, unhinged, and obsessed. And that's why they're driving around in circles in their families, in their lack of character, doing hand gestures, mantras, mudras, sprinkles. Hiring anybody stupid enough to go for it, anybody desperate enough for a couple extra bucks. Anybody. That's why they do it. So we are going to exercise this to help our frequency. And then we're going to still stick it to these sorry sons of bitches. So it's intentional to provoke the anger, to provoke. They are eternal 3-year-olds with Mercedes-Benz. They are eternal 3-year-olds with rejection issues. They are eternal 3-year-olds with entitlement issues. They are eternal 3-year-olds with a fanaticism and hypocrisy. They are eternal 3-year-olds. They're wanting you and me. That's why they're doing it. The little man, the little penis syndrome is my favorite reference, because they say, overcompensating. You need something to compensate for your lack of character. Overcompensating. They know that you know, and they know that everybody else don't. They know that you know, and they know that everybody else don't. They know that you know, and they know that you know, and they know that most everyone else don't. Patterns increase, and this is why no. But it's done way so no one else know. But it's done way so no one else know, so that your anger is pace and hold things. Hold things. So what are we gonna do? What did he say do? On the video I just uploaded, collective. If if you didn't see it, then go check out a short. It should be uploaded the same day you see this. A short with a gentleman, a white gentleman, and then I started hearing me talking towards the end. And so what are we gonna do? Well, he said we're gonna stop. We feel like we're getting pissed off, we're getting angry. We don't deal with a normal sense of that. He's really talking about just the normal population of the world that are just dealing with normal anger like everybody else. That's not what we're dealing with. Okay, everybody deals with jerks and assholes. You go to the grocery store, you got some prick. It's life. But when you got 1,000-year-old 3-year-olds with money and in fancy cars driving around, they old as Moses. Then hired a bunch of mofos. You see what I'm saying? When you have that, that's not a natural or normal occurrence of being provoked. So we're dealing with it on a sophisticated military grade scale. Your neighbor standard anger. Somebody is driving like an idiot on the freeway. Somebody said something snarly about their social media post. The coworker is acting snooty. They're not cool, but those are natural. I mean, those are normal, standard, expected. If you live long enough, if you're not in a monastery or you're not a monk somewhere, if you're living in society, you're gonna deal with your standard, provocation, grades of irritation. We are dealing with something that is concentrated on an organized community scale. On top of life. So we have our children. We have our own natural life cycles. We have all of the natural things that everyone else has. On top of this. This is why I'm convinced that these enterprises are seriously up to trying to kill you and I. Because they're trying to create for you to self-eject, for you to self-eject by way of the harassment, or if you won't lean into that self-ejection, that your body, by way of all of the torture and the harassment and the anger and the constant, they're hoping that this will kill you, and they could look like they didn't do that. Driving around doing spell work. Then they have weirdos that are centralized in locations doing spell work. In some cases are living on the same property as you and I doing it. Some of them are in the same neighborhood, whether it's across the street, down the street, around the corner, on an alleyway. People nowadays do not care. And if they're already racist, prejudiced, ignorant, whatever the case may be, they don't care. They try to make money. They try, yeah. So again, they know that this is infuriating for you. They know that you get infuriated because as you try to talk to people that go around the world like they intend to know, whoa, you know, deep. They don't know. You talk to this kind of shit. They may intelligence in their chosen fields of study and careers and backgrounds, but as it pertains to this kind of stuff, dumb as a doorknob, that too may be infuriating for you. That because they know that you're trying to basically remedy your life, you're trying to clear your life, you're trying to rid yourself of toxicity, negativity, bad habits, bad people, bad places, bad things. They know you're trying to do that. They know that you're trying to clean up your life, that you're trying to get away from people that's not good for you. They know that you're trying to do that. They know that and make better choices. They know that you're trying to do that. They know that you're trying to take care of your children, your family, and build. They know that you're trying to do that. They also know that you're trying to create justice, get some answers. They know that you're trying to do that. And so what they do, they know that you're going to be trying to connect to people to find, if you find anybody with any goddamn sense, you happen to find somebody with any real discernment that everybody claimed they got so deep, they know that you're going to be reaching out to folks in the various community, all these leaders who they got really nice cars and briefcases, doorknob as it pertains to this type of stuff, if they are not a part of it themselves, because often what you're going to be finding out also is that some of their whole asses is a part of it. And they know that that is going to be infuriating and agitating for you. And that's going to provoke you to anger and to act out. And that's going to, again, affect your mind, your brain, your body, your frequency, as well as make you look like you're nuts because they are professional cunts. They're professional stalkers. They are professional criminals. They are professional at being an eternal 3-year-old that is antagonizing and terrorizing, but looking like that's not what the fuck they're doing. So as they continue to trigger and bait you, as they continue circling around with their little penis syndromes. Yeah, I talk shit because these people are contributing and tearing down you and your family. So yes, I do talk shit to affecting the health and the well-being of your children. So yeah, I do talk shit. They are the trash in which I reference. If this is not them, then it ain't them. So anybody out there who's not a part of it shouldn't have nothing to say about it. If you are willing to affect somebody else's life, you're trash. You're willing to do it, you're trash. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Listen, you know. They know, you know, that they scout for every radical extremist that they can. They know that you know that they scout for, if you black, they are scouting for anybody racist against a black person. They're scouting if they're a misogynist nigga bitch, they're scouting for men with issues with women. If women is an issue, then they know they're scouting for jealous bitches. I guarantee you that. People who are in competition with you, want to be starlets, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, you know, they're going to scout for them. They're going to scout for your exes. They're going to be scouting the scene for anybody that you've ever been with. They're going to scout for their family. They're going to, like I said, people of your childhood. Anybody that you are estranged from, they're going to be scouting to hire these people. And they know that that's infuriating. Most people aren't dealing with the issue of, you try to go outside. Let's say you have a car, or let's say you don't. You try to go outside to get you a morning jog and a morning walk into a park. Most folks aren't dealing with nothing weird with that. That's not the standard experience for everyday life for normal everyday Joe Schmoes. Most folks aren't dealing with something with the basic goings-ons of life like that. You go outside, you walk to the store, you're dealing with 30 retards with nothing else to do. That is infuriating. So what are we going to do? We're going to stop and say, as the gentleman said, he said, you're going to stop. You're not going to, you're going to name it. He said, you're going to name it, but it is a way we're going to name it. So we're going to stop and say, T.I., you and I, this is what we're going to be practicing. I didn't say we're going to do it perfect. I just said we're going to do it. Okay, we're going to add this into our arsenal, what all the rest of the shit is. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to stop. And we're going to say, a part of me is angry that I got these trash ass bitch niggas and hoes talking. No, we're going to say, let me change. Okay. He said, name it. That's what the man said, do. Okay. I think that was the first step. He said, name it. Okay. Somebody's going to laugh at this, like this lady. Okay. So we're going to stop, because you can't, if you bypass this, if you do the spiritual bypass, the shit doesn't work. Okay. It just doesn't fucking work. So we're going to name it. We're going to stop. When this happened, he said, when you feel like you're pissed off, and you're angry because these sorry dirt bags. Oh, okay. When they doing their shit, or when they do something to your kid, you see the effect on your kid because some ridiculous nigga do. Woo. Oof. Yeah. I said that. I said it, and I mean it. Some shallow pussy bitch sitting somewhere doing root work on your disabled fucking kid. They retarded ass. When we feel the anger that's real, that they're trying to make us, by way of this incessant intrusion, trying to make us become as trashy as they are. Trying to make us become as scandalous, weak, low, ignorant, and dumb as they are. Trying to make us look like what's true of them, as they pretend to be grounded and sound people, as their abuse in the dark, in secret, using their flying monkeys, their mindless minions. Now, what are we going to do? You walk into the store, and all of a sudden, it's Crenshaw on Friday night. It was a ghost town. What now, nigga, bitch? Nowhere to be found. And all of a sudden, you decide to get a jog, go to the park, and you see all the weirdos swarming about, being weird, honking horns, making noises, getting out, looking at you like you Beyonce and shit, and you ain't got $5. They sitting they weird ass, you know what I'm saying? Sitting there weird ass up in fucking cars and shit, staring at you, getting out, looking at you like you Beyonce. You almost want to say, nigga, I'm not Beyonce. I don't have her money, because if I had her money, I'd have your ass shot. I'd have your ass picked up. I'm just a regular Josephine Schmo. So you're weird. You're weird. So, as we can, like I said, guys, we are not going to do this perfectly. And guess what? Please don't shame yourself. You're dealing with some professional grade shit. Most people in this life can't even deal with the regular grade shit. Okay, they can't even deal with the standard, everyday occurrences of nuances and nuisances and stuff. They can't even, they're having a bitch fit because they can't get their favorite ice cream. They can't even. So just because you don't do this perfectly, I don't want you to add, you're a bad motherfucker. You're a bad motherfucker to such an extent that motherfuckers had to get a whole organization around the world to constantly fucking follow you around. You're a bad motherfucker to such an extent, when you homeless, you still got motherfuckers stalking you. That's how bad motherfucker you are. Now, that says a lot to me. I'm just saying, collective, if you're dealing with these very situations that's been created and people still on you like that speaks volumes. I know that's what they're trying to create, but you must be a bad motherfucker, though. Cause why they that vested in somebody who ain't got $100? Why they need 1,000 bitches? Motherfuckers all over the. Why they need all that? Why they need all that? Why they need 20 people doing Santeria? Why they need all that? How come they can't take you out by themselves? Ooh, uh-oh. Now let's get back to the business here. Um, Name it. So we're gonna stop and say, a part of me is angry. A part of me feels angry that these people are cowards. They'll work on me and my son in the dark. A part of me feels angry. Motherfuckers are stalking for hire and be talking about praise God. A part of me is angry that my child, my son, my daughter is being pulled and tucked and twirled like a fucking toy for these useless bastards. A part of me feels angry that people actually believe my trash ass relatives don't got no sense, no discernment to even see and know what truth is, if Jesus, the one at least they even think exists, were to come down and fucking slap them a couple few times, say, nigga, this is the whole right out. A part of me feels angry. We doing, he said name it, so we gonna name it. We gonna name it in the way that bruh said we gotta name it. We gonna name it. A part of me feels angry that people with money, greedy cunts and funds, feel entitled to me and my children, stealing from me and still trying to do away with me. A part of me feels angry that this world is narcissistic to such an extent that they're blind to the abuse right in front of them. A part of me feels angry that in 2026 we're still dealing with racism, sexism, ageism, prejudices, discriminations based on differences, but we pretend like we so goddamn evolved. A part of me feels angry a part of me feels angry that people just can't leave me alone. And then claim that I'm the one with the rejection. I'm sorry, I'm naming some shit, y'all. You got to name yours, okay? If you're on the video, then you do your part, okay? We're gonna name our shit. Part of me feels angry that authorities are stupid, and when I go to them, nigga, they glazed over by the fucking eyes. A part of me feels angry woo, that I'm 1,000 years old and been out of college for eons, but a part of me feels crazy that I'm still dealing with a bunch of fucking children, a bunch of high schoolers, a bunch of fucking children, eternal bullies that go around acting like they got class because they got a E-class Mercedes. A part of me feels angry. Naming it, name yours. That my son, his whole life has been hijacked and stolen by retards that actually appear to be better than him. A part of me feels angry that you got people of our own culture and kind ain't nothing but a bunch of house niggas. A part of me feels angry. They're in these positions that can do something and they stupid. They can't get past their own fucking ego. A part of me feels angry that murderers are getting away with murder every day and innocent people are being blamed for shit that they didn't do. A part of me feels angry that I'm on a watch list due to some fucking washed up has-been famous motherfucker. Or some crazy ex from a trazillion good damn years ago, bitch. Or some radical children of the corn fucking town. A part of me feels angry that my life and my social media, my creations have been stolen by talentless bitches and niggas. And my stuff has been blacklisted and shadow banned. A part of me feels angry A part of me feels angry that I've had to constantly uproot my life because people just wouldn't stop trying to negatively impact my life. That I've had to drag my son from pillar to post because nobody wants to believe what's happening to us. And worship because we believe it and they're in on it. A part of me feels angry that we're still doing modern day witch hunts, but we don't have a clue that the witches are in the pews. That we ourselves are casting spells on people, affecting innocent lives because of our ignorance. A part of me feels angry. A part of me feels angry. A part that's leaving room, like the gentleman said, it's leaving room so that we can clear. All right. A part of me feels angry that no one believes me. When I say we are being stalked, we are being harassed, we are being followed, there's corruption involved, corrupt authority leaders, corrupt companies, corrupt businesses, relatives, exes. That I'm being called paranoid, attention seeking, or I just made room for the devil. A part of me is really feeling angry about that because that's a major ignorant statement. There. Now let's do the breath. Said you name it. So now we named it, and now we're gonna switch the game. We named it, so we're gonna switch. So he said, take a deep breath in through the nose, and I'm gonna do it. And when you see this video, you can do it with as well. So we named it. All right. So now we're gonna take our deep breath in, count of 4, and we're gonna breathe out through the mouth for a count of 6. So we're gonna take a deep breath in through the nose. Okay, so he said, now, you do the name it, you do the breath, and then he said you splash some cold water on your face. You do something different to come out of it because we're trying to help our brain, right? We know what they're trying to do to our brain. We know what they're trying to create. We know exactly what they're up to. Okay, so boom. He said splash cold water on your face, and this is supposed to activate the nerve, reset. You can put some on, splash some on your face, he said, your neck, your face. I think he said face, but you can go with your neck, your back, your throat, whatever you can to splash it. Okay, boom. There's tons of other exercises, but I like that this one was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. This is help to connect. So as we experience another retard driving down the street, what we can do, shut it down, stop looking, close the blinds, and then acknowledge it. Boom. A part of me feels angry that limp dick nigga that. A part of me feels a part of me. Woo, okay. and go through those 4 steps. Weird shit, and you got some new information on how to shed and limp dicks and pussies. Since they own it, activate that too. We live by the decisions we make, don't we? You can even do the mantra. Like there's different things you can incorporate with that exercise. Like name it, take the breath, and then if you're doing mantras and mudras of your own to counter their shit. You see what I'm saying? And then so we shifted the energy. We addressed it. We felt it. We didn't lie. We didn't pretend. We didn't deny. We didn't do any of those things. Okay? We didn't do that. But we also got ourselves out of the hook, out of the hoop, out of the loop that they keep trying to keep us in, and out of the damage that it's doing to our frequency. Because the gentleman said whatever we do frequently becomes our frequency. So they're trying to keep us in frequent dismay. They're trying to keep us in frequent sorrow, frequent sadness, frequent loss, frequent anger, frequent agitation. That is what these community watch programs are about. And you are hired and working for these community programs. You're corruption. You're working for someone who has hired you to commit federal offense. You're working for someone that has hired you to be a terrorist disguised as a surveillancer. You are working for someone who has hired you to terrorize innocent life. You're working for someone who has hired you to annoy and irritate and do various phrases, gestures, movements to trigger that person's stress, anxiety, them and their children, to burn them out. Congratulations, you have been hired in espionage. Congratulations, you have been recruited and hired for corruption. Congratulations, you have ruined